you know, this is how we plan it, Gary. She likes it.
I'm gonna go get my umbrella.
You are talking. Okay. Years ago when you were selling jewelry. That's a while. I got some beautiful silver pieces from you. I still wear them.
She still has them in
I wear it. Well, then it's half price used.
Good morning. Thank each one of you for coming to take this time. It's going to be a special time. Today we're going to take time, we're going to dedicate a portion of this playground to a teacher that has given her time, her heart, and love to over 1,000 kindergarten students that have played in this area. In fact, right around 346 students were in Mrs. Parker's class over the past 16 years. As you look around the playground, the sandbox, a drinking fountain behind you, and these benches, which says Covillaud Kindergarten, they're all here thanks to Kiki. She raised the funds for them. Can you imagine a playground out here without any trees, without a drinking fountain? Amazing. A little history, 16 years ago, I was in the personnel office of the district office signing my contract to become the new principal of Mary Covillaud Elementary. While I was signing my contract, I was told that one of the teachers had resigned and moved away. I was also informed that Kiki Parker, a teacher from Linda Elementary, had requested a transfer to Mary Covillaud. I did not even hesitate. As soon as I finished signing my contract, I signed the transfer of Mrs. Parker. I did not even think of interviewing prospective teachers. Little did I know that Kiki was a former Covillaud student. Kiki attended school when it was called Marysville Grammar School. And I believe it was changed to Mary Covillaud when Kiki began 5th grade here. Anyway, I knew I had hired a gem. I just had not realized how big a gem it turned out to be. A few of her attributes. Devotion. The main reason Kiki Parker came to Mary Covillaud was to be closer to her mother. Her mother lived a short distance from the school where Kiki grew up. Kiki was able to spend more time with her mother as well as checking in on her to make sure everything was fine. No, Mrs. Parker did not come to Mary Covillaud because of me. She came here to teach children and take care of her mother. What an honorable thing she did. Classroom management. I know you teachers probably already know. Never seen anybody better in 16 years. I thought Mrs. Parker was using shock therapy or something when I first observed her. You could walk in any time of the day and the students were all working on task. I used to sneak down and look through the window and everybody was still working. Never saw Mrs. Parker raise her voice. Never saw her call her. 16 years. My wife used to sneak down after she would tutor in different classrooms, just to sit in Kiki's classroom, just to get away, get some peace and quiet. I'm waiting to see someone that good, and if I do, I'll call you, Kiki, and have you come and observe. I know many tough little students were placed in your class because I knew you could handle them. You never once told me to give them to someone else. I'll always be grateful for what you did for those children. 14 student teachers, to my knowledge. I got to research it. I had probably closer to 20. They were under the tutelage of Mrs. Parker. In fact, some of them are here. In fact, one of the student teachers is now the lead teacher in kindergarten, Mrs. Mello. I remember talking to you, Kiki, Mrs. Cowell. You were the ones that said it was time for Mrs. Mello to become the lead teacher. When we think about Waterford, those that don't know what Waterford is, early reading program run through computers. We started with 3 computers in Mrs. Parker's classroom. All 80 students were on those computers daily. I look back, those 3 women that walked in my office that morning, Mrs. Parker, Mrs. Cowett, Mrs. Goodman, they were not about to let Mr. McBride take over those computers himself. They marched to my office, and I backed those women. In November the 4th, they did a presentation to the Board of Trustees on Waterford. Before we knew it, Waterford was in every kindergarten, first and second grade classroom in the district. In fact, Waterford is still part of the daily curriculum for teaching students to read. All-day kindergarten. This did not have to be done because it was not part of the contract of the kindergarten teacher. Kiki said, I want to do it. And now most of the district is following her model. It was not about the contract. It was what was best for those kindergarten students. I remember the entire staff going to a board meeting and fighting to keep all-day kinder. We did. This was going on. Raising the standards. I look back over the 16 years I was spent with Mrs. Parker and our staff. I needed support to move forward, and Mrs. Parker was always there backing me. I remember when we introduced open court in the middle of the school year. Some of the teachers did not like the change. In fact, I lost a teacher at the end of the school year just because of the change. But not Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker put on her crown, became the queen of open court. Literally, she put on a crown. As a school, we had approximately 20% of our kids reading at proficiency. Now, we have around 70%. But look why we are really here. Last December, after Christmas, a dark cloud settled over Mary Covillaud Elementary. Our beloved mom, who several of the teachers I found out referred to her as, had a brain aneurysm. Over the next several months, we heard discouragement after discouragement concerning the health of Mrs. Parker. Finally, about a month ago, I was able to see her. I was not sure what to think. Kiki got it through me that she wanted to see the staff, though. I told all the staff. They slowly started going. Nobody knew what to expect. Then the miracle happened. Kiki began to get better. She's now talking. And here she is in person. Something I prayed for, but left it in God's hand because I was not sure what was going to happen. I heard about the silver cross that Kiki had in her hospital room. I know many, many prayers were made on Kiki's behalf. Churches started praying for Kiki's well-being and recovery. Being a Christian, I kept our small church informed of the progress of Kiki. In fact, I even met one of Kiki's high school friend due to these prayers. Kiki's life was in danger, and we did not want to lose it. I remember talking to Kiki about spending time with her grandchildren and wanting to do more and more of that. Now it looked like it was going to be taken from her, her family, and her school family. With the belief that the Almighty could heal her, and belief that Jesus could save her from the horrible tragedy, it would not have happened. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Kiki, the life that you now have is due to the mercy and grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. We all need to take a good look at ourselves and ask where we are. Could a tragedy happen to any of us? We all need to be grateful that God has spared her life and allowed her to be with us today. With that said, I really want to dedicate this small garden in honor of a special lady. Kiki Parker walks with more grace than anybody I know. Her love of children will always be felt at this school. I think of Abraham Lincoln, and I'm about 30 seconds away, when he went to Abraham to dedicate, I think of Abraham Lincoln when he went to Gettysburg to dedicate the battleground where close to 50,000 soldiers were casualties. Lincoln felt very inadequate to dedicate something so big. Well, I feel the same way. Mrs. Kiki Parker, the staff, parents, and students of Mary Covillaud Elementary dedicates this garden in loving memory of one that wanted something better for her students at school. The plot of ground will always bring loving memories to your former students as well as the staff that shared their time with you. This dedication is not done lightly, but with sincerity. There is your husband, son, family, friend that also recognize you as a wonderful person. I do wish to thank all of you that have made that effort to come by this morning. Please feel free anytime to stop by and add to the garden. Kiki and I stood here several mornings just checking to make sure the trees were fine and no limbs were broken off. So make sure whatever you add will add to the beauty of Mrs. Kiki Parker. Thank you. And most of the plaque says, it's Kiki's Kindergarten. Kiki A. Parker for 38 years of teaching and caring for our children, Mary Covillaud Elementary, 2013. Thank you, Kiki.